so you want to learn how to solo the airport level in Metal Gear Survive, especially for the current event right now. But just know this, I do make it look easy, and it does take a lot of time, practice, and effort to get it down, so keep that in mind. Alright, so basically I'm going to show you the ins and outs of the map, what to expect, and how to be very familiar with some of your tools. So at the end of this video, hopefully most of you guys will become trap specialists. So let's go over the small list of things you're going to need for this method. So you're going to need to be a scout. Now, you don't necessarily need to be a scout with the repairability, but it does help a lot. I've done it without being a scout, but since I do have one, I use it to my fullest extent. You're also going to need some fences, auto machine gun turrets, cardboard fences, decoys, and last but not least, oil traps. So let's get started. Now on your initial spawn, you're going to want to try to snipe as many wanderers as possible. Take out the ones that are right here since it's just 3 of them. After that, head to the roof and just drop down the drill. Don't start it, just drop it down. That way you have a nice mini map and you can just go around popping them in the face. Now I am also using a piece of armor that gives me ammo efficiency. That way I don't have to drain too much ammo while I'm doing this. So it does help immensely, but you don't absolutely need it. It's not the end of the world if you don't have it. But just be really careful with your ammo consumption, as it will creep up on you when you start to notice your ammo going down bit by bit. And you want to keep on sniping them until you have at least 5,000 Kuban energy. So each wanderer gives you about 500 per kill, so that's going to be around 10 wanderers total. Alright, so after we hit our limit, we can go ahead and just start up the drill and start placing down our defenses. Now you're going to be relying very heavily on this wormhole generator, so always place it right by the drill. I always place it in the room where all the crafting tables are. That way it's very convenient whenever I go out and like do any runs or whatever. Always try to speed it up at the beginning of the round. Sometimes you'll forget, because I tend to forget myself, but once you do this enough times, it'll start to become second nature. So you're going to want to put the oil traps right here in the corners. And along with that, while you're away, you want to go ahead and put down a decoy at the end right here. That way they always get kited towards the oil trap, and they'll always trip over it. Now, sometimes you'll get a few stragglers that will get by, but that's fine, just kill them and then just keep on moving on. So we're doing the same thing here, we're placing it right here in the corner, but we're going to take our cardboard boxes, and this time we're going to put this at the end of the stairs. So I discovered this one like just today, because I would always just put down a decoy over here, but I realized if I put down a cardboard fence here, most of the time it lasts a very, very long time, and that it still gets the job done just like the decoy. Also, don't forget to put down your automated machine gun turret right there where the mortar spawns. So I believe you get like maybe 1 mortar on this first wave, and like there's not that many mortars to be honest when you're playing by yourself. Whereas normally if you played with a team and whatnot, you will see some more mortars here and there. And that's about it. Once you have placed down those defenses, you can go ahead and go and grab all the side ops, especially the ones that give you iris energy. Now, if you're using a scout like I am and you have the stabbing grab, it does come in real handy when you go up and when you do stealth kills on the detonators, because you're able to grab all the shit that they had on them. And most of the time they do have ammo boxes. So again, I am using my ammo efficiency, and I'm getting ammo out of them every time I go do that. So, you know, I shouldn't be wasting that much ammo per game, and I hope you guys aren't either. Now, the reason why I do kill a few of them is because you need to have at least over 2k in personal score in order for you to actually get something, or else the game thinks you didn't do anything and you get nothing. So be sure you do that. Thing is though, is that you want to keep killing and getting more Kuban energy so that you have enough to buy the ammo resupply. And once you have enough for that, you can just stop killing and just, you know, let the game do as it pleases. Now, there will be a lot of babysitting, there will be a lot of monitoring. It may look like a lot at first, but eventually you'll get the hang of it, and it doesn't really feel like much at all, to be honest. So yeah, because things don't really need my attention at the moment, I can just go ahead and do these things on the side. Also, I forgot to mention, when the decoy is not being disturbed, meaning like if they're not really attacking it, it will actually stay alive for like 2.5 minutes. I've timed it. So, whenever you throw down your decoy, pay attention to the current timer right now, and just be wary of it. Sometimes you can actually hear it while you're out and about. You'll hear it like pop. So, once it pops, you know, just place down another one and you'll be good. Now, I actually failed to do it right here, but if you actually repair this oil trap like 3 seconds before the timer is over, you actually can save it, so you don't have to place down another one and waste more resources and whatnot. But I believe in the next wave I do actually get it, so you guys can actually see for yourself that you can salvage that. It also takes about 30 seconds for your ability to fully recharge, so always pay attention to all the stuff that's going on. The cardboard box surprisingly does actually last a while if they're not directly punching it. If they just bump into it or like walk into it, it will take a very small bit of health away from it. But if they do smack it, it will probably last about like 5 hits. But it will definitely last about like, I would say 20 bumps, which is like 20 enemies total. So I always go around, pay attention, and monitor all the health bars for all of my defenses, especially when it comes to the oil traps and the cardboard fences. So as you just saw there was a huge group of mobs that just... They were definitely influenced by the cardboard box, and it just barely broke the second I got there. So, as you already saw, it can last a very long time, and it can direct a lot of traffic away, and it can last long enough for you to actually go back and maintain it whenever you can. Of course, you know, you just need to be very mindful and try to check on it as much as possible. There are some waves where the end, where the drill is, that's where most of the traffic goes, and then there's other waves where it's the other way around. So, depending on where they're going, or like where everyone is what you'll be expecting when it comes to each side. Preferably, you'd want them to go towards the side with the drill the most, because you have an active decoy there. The cardboard box, it's, you know, in a way, it's like, it's a lot more easier to maintain just one oil trap and the decoy over here than it is the oil trap and the cardboard fence, because, or sorry, Yeah, in the cardboard fence, because that's 2 separate repairs you need to do. Also, on top of that, if they all happen to be coming through the side where the drill is, then when the decoy pops, all you have to do is just stand where the decoy was, and they'll still come to you the same exact way. So that's also another good thing. That way, all you need to do is just monitor the oil trap from there on. Also, don't forget to check the crystallized zones every now and then. That way you can grab some extra iris. It just helps with speeding up the whole process in general. Now, just so you know, it doesn't have to be an active decoy. A normal decoy will do the same exact job. I just decided to use active decoys because I can. Now, something very important you need to know is that when it gets to the very end of the wave here, again, it does take about 30 seconds for your power to recharge. And so you need to make sure you time that pretty well. As you probably saw earlier, you saw me just like stand there in front of it, and that's where I was looking at the timer. I'm like, oh wait, I won't have enough time to actually recharge. Because the goal of having, like, holding onto your power is that you want to save this oil trap over here, because it will get destroyed every single time. The other one will not. It won't get destroyed at the end of the wave, so you don't have to worry about it. And there you go, see? Like I said, you can definitely save the oil trap whenever you want. So you might be wondering, why does the oil trap survive when the cardboard box gets destroyed? I don't know. All I know is that if you place it in that exact spot, even though the red ring is over it, the drill doesn't destroy it. Not sure why, but that's just how it is. So that's why I said you don't have to worry about that oil trap, you need to worry about the one closest to the drill. And of course, the cardboard fence is a lot easier to replace than an oil trap, because you only carry 6 oil traps with you. Cardboard fences, you carry a bunch of them with you, so they're pretty expendable. Also to note, if you happen to be repairing the oil trap and one of the mobs does step on it, it will actually not repair it, so you end up wasting your ability for nothing. I don't know why it does that, it's kind of stupid. But yeah, you want to make sure you repair it before the mobs get there or before anyone steps on it. So like I said earlier, you can actually hear the decoy pop, and once it pops, just toss another one right there and continue doing what you're doing. So you want to ensure that side has a decoy up, and you want to ensure the other side has a cardboard box, because if you don't use the cardboard box version and you just put 2 decoys on each side, you will run out of decoys really fast. And I know there is materials out in this level that you can use to craft more decoys in the field, but you most likely want to eliminate that as much as possible. That way you just straight up focus on what you need to do and get everything else done. And yeah, as I mentioned before as well, sometimes there are some wanderers that just flat out ignore the decoy, but because they're in such a minority, it's not going to be enough to where like you need to always be paying attention 100%, or else they're going to fuck everything up. But yeah, you can easily just monitor everything. Always pay attention and make sure that you don't see numbers flying around, because that's when you know that they're attacking something. And there you go, like, you just stand here. After you got, like, the last side up for Iris Energy and you already did everything else, all you need to do is just stand here now. Obviously, in this scenario, most of all the traffic is coming here, which is a good thing. This is what you want, because once this decoy pops, you can just stand there, and they'll just come and chase you, and they'll just slip over this oil trap. And the cardboard box on the other side is barely being touched. And even if it does get touched, it's like by 1 or 2 wanderers, and that's it. So you really don't need to check up on it for like a long time at this point. Now, obviously, at this point in time, you should be going back to the crafting stations and craft all the extra stuff you can for your gear. That way you don't have to like use any of your resources, because whatever you picked up in this game is not going to come back to you. But and along with that, also using the ammo resupply as well. But again, like, I don't really care. It's not like it won't make a big difference for me, but for a lot of you maybe it will. Also, this mission can be a lot easier to do if one person was here at the base just monitoring all this stuff, and another person was doing all the side ops and such. So again, if you want to do it with one other person, you can. It's a lot easier. However, you just need to make sure both of you have at least 2 grand in personal score, and that's about it. But yeah, that is how you solo the airport like a boss. So hopefully you guys learned a lot of things through this video and through my commentary as well. I hope you guys become better trap specialists like I am, and good luck to all of you in this event. And I will be streaming this not today, but I will be streaming this later on in the week. That way you guys can come in and like play with me or watch or whatever. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely consider joining my Discord server and possibly being one of my patrons. So this is GamePro24X. Good luck to the rest of you on the event, and I'll see you guys later.
Mission complete, and how? They're gonna tell stories about this one, boss.